no left.
The new whale.
Oh, it's went blue.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you've pressed buttons. Right, right. Do you want me to do it for you? Up there.
Try it. Might work.
And they're good. They don't. They're very. They pick up a lot.
There we go.
As our, as our listeners will have got over the last minute of our little intro, that I think everyone quite enjoyed the fact that I didn't cut all that out.
Oh, did we? I don't.
Did you even listen to it?
Of course. So, thank you everybody for taking the time to have watched it. No, but if I watch it, I'll hate how I look. I'll hate how I sound. No, it's like that would be like Japanese water torture. Just having to watch and look at myself.
I listened to it twice actually.
But you edit it,
No.
so
Although actually
you kind of have to.
it didn't really need edited, which was good.
Because we're just such natural.
So it's natural talent. Well, you've had your 2 minutes of intro. Welcome to.
Is this? Oh, is this intro? Oh. There we go. No, I'm going to suddenly look better because we've went, oh, what's that now? I've kicked up a street backwards anyway.
Welcome to Matters of the Heart and Other Failures, the new podcast with me, Nathan Sparling.
And he's got Agnew. This is me attempting to look shiny. I'm full of cold. I'm lucky that's all. I'm full of, it was one of these weeks that I kept on meeting people that I know I'm a big adorable huggy bastard. I mean, big adorable. And then like 2 minutes after everybody hugged me, they would tell me what ailment they've just had.
After touching you?
After touching
Why
me.
did they do that?
I don't know. So I had a lovely big hug off somebody and then went, just know all after a bit of COVID. Like that. And as you'll hear later, I'm a bit kind of pedantic about that. And then I was hugging somebody else and I've just started back at my work. I've had the shingles. Great.
All you need is another ailment to go along with
keep
the current.
Keep me going. And then I was a gig Friday night, and I unfortunately just can't be helped. Somebody else in the bill had a cold, and actually,
and you were stuck in that wee green room, and
well, what was he just talking? That actually, I'm probably blaming somebody when it's not their own fault. Tell you why I'm in this state, right? I'll try not to get, but my housing association, because we're having 18 months, we've been having problems with a controlled entry door.
Oh yes,
right?
Oh yes.
And I came home after a gig on Thursday night, and I was locked out my own flat for near 2 hours before somebody could come in, which is better than the last time, because the last time I got locked out in the flat, I was there at 5 a.m, and I can't wake the neighbours up at that time. So anyway.
Well, I told you I was awake.
I know, but I had to still wait for the man to come and fix the door. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose.
So that's the problem.
But you're sorted now.
Sorted now. What are you doing?
I forgot charging my phone at the same time. So just keep going.
So right, I'll just keep on going.
So, because remember, most of our audience actually don't watch it. Most of them just listen. So
Don't listen.
they would never have known that anything happened there.
Right, because you said that's what we're going to do now. We're going to...
Tuesday, it's going to come on live on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Right.
And Wednesday, it'll be live on the YouTube for the watching.
For the watching.
Because like people like my gran and granddad, they just put it up on their telly and watch it like the TV.
Oh.
Which is why it's filmed in 4K, because it's a big TV.
Oh, it's filmed in 4K, right? So you might be able
We're going to need to get a hair and makeup artist for you.
Well, you need a plastic surgeon, but because I was right. So I've not been well. I've been in bad to work, and then with this cold thing, so I'm not even washed. So there you go.
Thankfully, I've also had the cold.
So you can't smell it.
I lost my voice because I was at the Fitball on Saturday.
Yes, yeah.
Which-
You were at Dunfermline
Dunfermline versus Partick Thistle at East End Park.
And you managed to get
Hunt 2-0.
2-0. There we go.
The standard of refereeing in this country is appalling.
Listen, we can't all be as high qualified officials as yourself.
It's a long time ago.
Earl Nathan was a qualified referee.
And then I did my knee and it's come back to haunt me now because that's my meniscus gone.
See?
Yeah.
So was it the football that done your knee?
Well, I stopped being a referee because I couldn't train and do all the matches because I did 3 games back to back in the same day on Dundee United's AstroTurf pitch.
See?
It's bad for you. It doesn't have the same bounce as grass.
See, everybody just thinks, see that, oh, there you go. See, everybody just thinks like Brendan Rodgers and whoever that fabulous entertainer that lives in the south side.
What, the vegan?
Yes.
Vegan Russell Martin?
The vegan Russell.
Why do they hate the fact he's vegan so much?
I think, but it's just football. They just need to have something. I've heard. I've heard them referred to as Terry Vegetables. I've quite enjoyed. Anyway, we're not getting into that West of Scotland, but they've got they're justified.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but back in 2006, 2007, Dunfermline were the first football club in Scotland to trial the AstroTurf type pitch. So we were paid by UEFA actually to do the trial, and everybody hated coming to East End Park. Funny, we finished 4th that season in the table in the Premiership. Of course, nobody liked coming to play on it, but. One of the cool things about that was I've actually played in East End Park football because normally they wouldn't let anybody play on the pitch on grass. But you could literally hire out East End Park when it was AstroTurf. And I played right back for about 3 minutes at the end of the game. And a little assist helped score a goal in a charity match.
Oh, my heavens, man.
No?
And how much was bet on you?
I mean, if there had been money bet on it, then someone was making a lot of money that day.
There you go. I never knew that. I knew about your refereeing, but I didn't know
my 3 minutes on the pitch.
So,
there was actually the season before the AstroTurf got installed. The last match of the season, I was there because I used to be a season ticket holder. And we stormed the pitch, and everyone was digging it up. So we had a patch of the East End Park turf in our garden.
The AstroTurf?
The real turf.
See, that sounds like hooliganism. They want to let SFA know have you back. Because you could do it now. You could be like a video assistant referee or something, couldn't you?
Oh, I could. No, but see, I didn't get all the modern rules. Because I'm there shouting abuse at the referee, and everyone's like, "No, that's one of the rules now." And I'm like, "What?"
I know.
Like, see this whole, like, you get anywhere near a goalkeeper and it's a free kick. I'm like, oh, go and get a grip.
I know. But anyway.
Right, we've talked a long time about football.
I've got a funny feeling a core of our audience are not football fans.
Yeah.
So.
Not yet.
Not yet. Well,
maybe they will be. As in, we might attract a new audience of football fans.
Which football fans, something like they will turn off en masse from Tam Cowan
off the ball,
Stuart Cosgrove, because they'll have said something off colour, and they'll be looking. Tam and Stuart might go woke.
Oh, aye.
And they'll come to a pair of butch mask lads like ourselves.
Well, you never know. Depends on what guests we get on.
Who knows?
We could get Graham Souness.
Well, there's a variety of football people who've been nice to speak to. So
absolutely.
But anyway, so folk that listened last week, thank you very much. That was our goodies.
Mm-hmm.
And the feedback's been lovely. So it has. So we're doing kind of much the same. This is, just a bit of light chat. Don't be hanging off waiting for like big sort of heart advice, because we don't give.
You wouldn't take our advice anyway.
No, it's just our experiences. So of what's
actually happened.
What's happened, and if that gives you a wee bit of comfort, because I'm here excuse my language. I'm here for it.
Oh, we're allowed to swear. As long as, my gran said, as long as we don't say the C-bomb, then it's fine.
Oh, don't see, there's that big red button. You put up, sorry, just Hillary.
Aye.
Hillary. I'm going to address you. I love you dearly, and I probably wouldn't have thought to say the C-bomb, but it's like a big red button that you've now put in front of me.
So if it's said, it's your fault. So
if it is said, so I apologise if I do say it in advance, but I tend not to use the word often quite literally. Anyway, right, so last week was
good fun. It was a bumper episode, an hour and some 15 minutes. It was nice to get into the flow of having a chat with you as if we've never
spoke. The only difference is the location.
Aye, we're at my dining table as opposed to a bar.
Aye, it would generally be at Max's bar. It would generally be after midnight.
Yeah. We'd be struggling to hear each other.
Because the music's generally banging,
Aye.
but brilliant.
And
I said banging, and I meant that in the young person sense.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not wanting to stereotype an audience, but we are talking about Hillary and Gran. People think banging means really loud.
Really loud, aye.
And it can be really loud, but it also means loud and good.
Means good. We'll be educating you with some down with the kids lingo. and
I know, at 44, I'll tell you what's down with the legs.
Not quite when you hear some of the brain rot that they talk. Skibbidy-rizz and all that nonsense. Do your nephews talk in brain rot yet?
No, well, they probably do out of sight.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time, no.
I remember my brother William and Thomas, I've got twin brothers that are 12. And when they started doing it, they would tell you a phrase and they'd not tell you what it meant. So you had to go away and watch a YouTube video that explained it. And then they would sit laughing, and it was like, Rizz just means like charisma.
Oh, right.
Charisma.
Oh, charisma.
Aye.
Well, that makes sense.
Have you got any Rizz? Like
I would have just assumed that was somebody looking for a fag paper.
a Rizzler.
A Rizzler. Oh,
not sponsored. There are other fag papers available.
says the podcast about hearts.
Aye.
Fag papers.
No fag papers should be allowed.
So
in this podcast, how's your week been other than your gigs? What did you get up to?
I don't know. I can't remember. What have I? No. Well, there was we were a stand on Thursday night, and that was a memorial gig for the wonderful Big Gary Little, and we were raising money. And actually, I'm going to get raising money for a charity he supported and actively volunteered for as well. MCR Pathways, which was a mentoring charity. He would go into schools and would be paired up with he was paired up with, over the years, 3 young gentlemen, and mentored them. So there was a fair wee bit of money raised for that. We were all told to do it, and I've not done this yet because I've got no money at the minute. So this might make up for it. I just feel like paying my fine.
Well, fine.
Because we were. Right, well, so Gary's big thing, he hated people running over, right time-wise. And there were so many of us wanted to go in and pay tribute. We were all allotted 5 minutes. And if we were then fined a tenner for every minute we done over the time.
And how many minutes were you over?
I done 10. So at the minute I owe the charity 50 quid. I will get that when my pit money comes through. So if anybody feels generous and wants to pay my fine to MCR Pathways, the mental charity in honor of Big Gary Little. So that was Thursday. That was nice. A really, obviously, terribly sad reason for us to be there, but there was just so much love in the room for Gary. Just passed
great guy.
Just an absolute fabulous guy, and I could fill the hour talking about him, to be honest. But he wouldn't have spoken to me for an hour on the podcast, so he can do fuck all. No,
we did do a podcast with Gary Little, remember?
We did. We recorded that. Well, actually, you know, that'd be nice to dig that out again.
Comedy Festival podcast.
That cost us money as well, then.
Aye.
Because he wouldn't, because that's right. He was performing during
the Comedy Festival.
During the Glasgow Comedy Festival, but wasn't part of the Glasgow Comedy Festival, and we asked him to be on the podcast to promote the comedy festival, and then he said, "But I'm no paying to be in the brochure." So we weren't technically, the rules did not allow us to include him in the podcast.
But we'd recorded it at this point already, so we paid the money to get him in the brochure.
In the brochure. So, big Gary, I forgot about that. So how's your week been? What's your been up to?
It's been a busy week medically, I'll well say.
Medically? Right.
Yes.
Right.
I had my heart failure clinic appointment.
Oh, how was it?
That was fine. Usually I'm every 3 or 4 weeks, which is quite regular.
That's really regular.
Yeah. But I think this is because, we're still only, 14 weeks in. So I've been 3 times. My next one would have been in 3 weeks, but I'm on holiday, so it just creeps into the 4th week. The medication has been changing quite a lot, so they regularly are wanting to take blood out of me.
See, I never realised that they were. I mean, see, this is because I never realised there was just as much footer with the medication.
Oh, footering a bit.
But then that's because my original GP had done it wrong and just left me in the lowest amount, putting me hugely at risk.
Yeah.
For the first year.
Because every
I forgot my new GP, who was great. It was good myself to some.
Every time I go to the heart failure clinic, my medication's changed so far.
Right.
Which my pharmacist is annoyed about because I get a little blister pack made up for me, and they've got to keep changing that every couple of weeks. But otherwise, fine. Didn't get the results from the MRI.
No.
Could take up to 8 weeks, apparently, for them to look at a scan and look at the picture. Apparently, it's very complex. I thought they used AI for that nowadays, but apparently, it's still a person.
No, I wouldn't want them to be using AI.
Apparently, it's better.
No.
Apparently, it finds things.
Well, no.
This is the generational difference between me. That's the point, actually. That podcast last week showed that how many generational issues there are between me.
Well, there is a few. Well, here, I'll tell you, and this is why I will not trust it. Just this very day.
Oh.
This very day, which will date it was Monday, 28th of September, right?
Aye.
And I asked AI, is today a bank holiday? And it came back and it said, not a bank holiday, but May the 28th, September the 28th is included in the Glasgow Fair. Now, Glasgow Fair's in July.
Well, it meant the September weekend.
No, it didn't. It's wrong.
It's not a bank holiday today.
No, but it said, but it's not the Glasgow Fair either.
Well, it's the same thing.
It's
September
not the
weekend.
Same thing.
It's a local holiday.
And you want that thing that can't tell you what day of the week it is, essentially.
Apparently, it is diagnosed people better than doctors.
Well, I've diagnosed that as shite. There you go. Shite not to be trusted.
Well, I'm waiting 8 weeks to get the results of the MRI. Right. But that was the MRI that I was meant to get in hospital. I was going to be in for 21 days if I'd waited for the MRI inside. No. Thankfully, I got it in about 10 weeks, which was actually quite reasonable. But another 8.
So the thing is, somebody will have cast an eye over it.
Aye, I'm no dying.
Aye, and
I'm not dying quickly.
Aye, well that's it. I'm working on the basis that somebody will have cast an eye over that and went.
Looked at it and went, we'll look at it in more detail,
we
but
don't need to get in touch.
Not urgent.
Yeah, we don't need to be phoning, murder police.
Murder police.
Shout murder police. So.
And then on the same day I went to a doctor's appointment, which nobody knows why I was there. But that was weird. I got a letter through my door.
But nobody knows why you were there.
Aye. So I got a letter through the door saying, we've checked your bloods. Can you come in for a non-urgent face-to-face appointment? Right?
Uh-huh.
And I thought, that's urgent.
Should explain it to
because we share the same GP.
Yes.
So you know as well as I do that they're quite good at picking up the phone, giving you a phone if there's an issue. So the fact that it was a letter and it was to organise a face-to-face appointment was of concern. And I organised the face-to-face appointment. I got one the same day that I contacted them. Went up, and the doctor was like, so, why are you here? And I was like, because you asked me to be here. And they were like, I don't know why, because everyone's fine.
Do you know, I think there's something quite nice with that.
The blood results confirmed what they already knew about me having gout. Right. But, it was only... It was only a blood test to see if I still had gout.
I can't believe that there was still the hours I have listened to you shout about gout on a stage.
Yes.
And you've went to a GP to talk about your gout.
I didn't want to go and talk about the gout.
Well, in fact,
I'm quite happy to live with gout.
Head to toe with my Nike Air Force Ones on. The only drag queen that didn't wear a pair of high heels, a pair of Nike Air Force Ones.
They were right.
That should knocked off me.
They were right comfy.
They were comfy.
I love a pair of Nike Air Force Ones.
Because you couldn't get feet in.
Because of the gout, I couldn't wear heels.
I know. The tragedy of a drag queen that they can't wear heels. Do you know what I mean?
And now I've got a bunion for wearing heels.
that you never wore?
I did wear them sometimes. No, I don't think I wore them long enough to get the bunion. I think my feet are just fucked.
Well, I'm not good.
You've got quite a lot of content.
I've quite a lot of content about feet that are fucked.
Well, maybe that's a good segue into the main topic of.
Well, we're not going into.
No, we're not going into your feet.
No, we're not going into.
But
yes.
Last week we talked about one of the impetuses of the podcast, which was my heart failure.
Yes.
And this week, I think we should get into a bit more detail about.
I mean, everybody's heard about my heart. I'm saying everybody's heard. Right?
Maybe not everyone.
Just because my 3-part series on BBC Radio 4, Dead Man Talking, is still available, it's been broadcast to the nation. Does not mean the nation have all heard it. You know, it's available to the nation. But
we will, of course, link that documentary series.
It's not a documentary, it's
a
comedic series.
It's a very, very good comedic series.
I don't know. It's fine. It was very. It was fine. Never won any awards for it, so that's it.
Oh, did it not win that award?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, I thought it was a dead cert.
I'll get nominated. I'll get really excited about getting nominated for an award ceremony that I'd never heard of before.
What was it? The Celtic Radio Awards?
Celtic Radio Awards, and
you didn't even go, did you?
No. It was a way down. No, but the team at the BBC they went.
Oh, that's nice.
It's just fine.
They went down to celebrate your success.
They went down so they went all the way down to Newquay.
Oh yeah, it was in Wales.
I was in Newquay's Devon, is it not?
Is it?
Aye, it's that kind of.
I thought Newquay was South Wales.
No, that's Newport.
Oh, maybe
I
that's
think. You think Newport's South Wales.
Maybe that's what
Newquay's sort of Cornwall and. All right, my lover.
All right, my lover.
Well, that's it. I've got my voice for the rest of the podcast now. All right, my lover. Oh, man. So tell you about my feet, you know.
Thankfully, this isn't live because if someone had tuned in right at that moment.
I'll tell you about my feet. You know. We're going down the pathway.
The MCR pathway.
The MCR pathway. And I was collecting all little fishies for my little dishes, you know. So, this is what happens when I'm not well, just random. Anyway, both I was very pleased with the show. It's one of those odd things that have just been out. I'm very used to doing something because of what you do as a stand-up comic.
You get that instant,
stage and you get that kind of instant feedback, and then you got the instant feedback when we were recording it. But then that wasn't technically the finished product. Then the finished product went away out, and then you just it's on at whatever time it was, 10 o'clock on a Thursday or Friday, or whatever it was.
You didn't know if anyone listened to it.
Does anybody listen to it? Did anybody hear it?
Because
it's very strange.
Yours was the third person I know or I've worked with that had a BBC Radio 4 comedic show. Yours was the only series. No.
Big Gary Little.
Big Gary Little had one
series as well, which is really funny. Go and listen to that as well because he was so kind of undervalued, but underappreciated, I suppose. Not amongst his peers. We all knew he was like amongst the best, but I kind of never went very much further.
Yeah,
neither did. And then when he passed, everybody knew. So this is look at that cursed me. We were coming back into Tom and Gary. But actually when he passed, I couldn't believe how many people did know him. So that, maybe it was a bit more complex than I'm appreciating. Who knows? Anyway, don't confuse me. don't.
We'll just go back to talking about you then.
That with my heart attack.
Aye.
Right.
Because I remember where I was when you told me. 4 in the morning.
I was going to say, you should have been in your bed.
Aye, because it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning you messaged me. And I was in Dunfermline.
Ah, right, were you down the road?
Aye.
Well, and where do you start? Where does a heart attack truly begin? There's a question for me. Right. So let's just contextualise things. We were in COVID times, right? I had my heart attack on the 6th of September, 2021. So we were a year into the old pandemic scenario. But kind of prior to that, I have to be honest, like 2 years running up to it, I was getting dead sluggish. I was getting tired. I was putting on weight because, this is ridiculous. But anyway, I was putting on weight, and the thing was, in that time, I was away around Southeast Asia, and I was finding it really, and I'd always want to go and see the parts of the world: Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. I always wanted to be in that part of the world.
No.
It was a proper, very nearly was a bucket list thing, but and I was finding it dead difficult to get myself up and motivated and go and see and do stuff, which was bizarre. Anyway, so that was 2019. So that's kind of where I first noticed something no right.
Did you notice that at the time? Or was it on reflection thing?
Well, on reflection, you kind of go, that must have been it, because it kind of rolled, that was the only real explanation. And then I was in Australia just directly before the pandemic started. And even that was and I was out there to do gigs. I was out there to be the Perth Comedy Festival and the Adelaide Comedy Festival. And like that, it was a real struggle to get up and do anything. And you kind of go, oh, it's the heat. It's the heat, but I was finding it was the same back here. And of course, I get back into the UK on like the 14th, 15th of March, 2020.
You're close to not getting back in. Just as well you did.
I'm trying
if you got stuck in Australia, because they weren't letting anyone in or out, were they?
Well, I would have been there for like 2.5 years. I genuinely don't know what they'd have done because
I don't know if I'm pretty sure that was a.
Are they meant letting them in and around?
Do you know Alison is in Australia right now? She's listening to the podcast.
Oh yes, Alison Boyd.
Yeah, so maybe Alison can tell us.
So what happened? And sorry to Jamie.
Jamie's in Glasgow right now.
I know. Just brought him in.
Aye.
I'm sure he's got other things to do.
Well,
his father's just passed, but condolences, Jamie.
Yeah, it'd be good to, because literally by a day or two, you could have been stuck in Australia for however long it would have been, because they weren't letting anybody into the country, so they probably wouldn't have been allowing flights in.
I don't think they were letting anybody out, so...
Yeah.
So, that would have been a weird one. And I don't know, so how did you earn your living? Do you know what I mean? Like, they would have had to have paid.
Bloody hell.
Well, would they have billed you?
Well, because you might have needed travel insurance for that kind of thing.
Well, we would have had that.
You would have had that because it was work. But yeah, going back to that.
And then I would have had the heart attack in Australia.
Well, maybe you wouldn't have. Maybe you would have got COVID.
Well, there we go. So anyway, so that was so I was getting worse and worse and worse. And if you remember, that summer it was they were playing the Euro 2020s in 2021. And it was getting bad. My ability to just get up the street, and to the point I started lying, right? Because I would get to my local pub, and there was the lovely Raymond, the French barman that worked there, who was enough of a motivator to get you up the street, shall we say? Well, Well, that French fit my shirt. Anyway, right. But I would get up the street and I was absolutely drenched in sweat. Not even a particularly necessarily warm day. Absolutely drenched in sweat. And you all right? And like, I just went for a wee walk around the whole town before I came here.
Really, you just walked down the stairs?
And really, I just walked down the stairs and up the street, you know? So I was in a bad... I realised... But I didn't really know what it was. I had no idea.
If you were anything like me, it was only after they told me I had heart failure that I was able to pinpoint all that. Aye. I was like, all the things that I thought were hangovers or the heat or this or that were just...
I'm just putting on extra weight and things like that. All those wee bit things like that. Right, that's why that was the case. That's why I was doing that. That's why I was suddenly, you know, but all these wee things that you like. I was never particularly sweet tooth, and I kept on buying like big 2 litre bottles of fizzy juice, like lots of chocolate and things like that. And it turns out my body was sort of craving energy, so I was kind of going for things that would give me that sugar rush that which I didn't know about, and I realised why I was doing that. So anyway, the day of the heart attack. So I don't, not the day of the heart attack. The week before, I was out.
You were in our local gay bar.
Well, wait a minute. Right, here goes to show you. Like, a good turn gets you nowhere, right? Because what was actually happening, myself and Margaret Mazzoni.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Were you there? I think you were there that day. Basically, we had been appalled by the poor homeless folk that had essentially been left to...
Oh yeah, you just went and...
We were out collecting pants, right?
Yeah, this was the thing in George Square.
We went to George Square. We were trying to collect pants for the homeless because they weren't getting any... there wasn't folk donating enough underwear for the homeless. And they were all kind of... Because it was dead strange. I live in the city centre, and being in the city centre when everything was boarded up and there was nobody around was really weird. And thought, oh, keep on going out for a walk. And I'm like, no, one, I get breathless and sweaty. Two, it's dead weird because there's no people about other than the folk that are kind of being left to their own devices. And like, all your wee sort of ne'er-do-wells and whatnot, folk cutting about. Suddenly they had like big beards and they were all scruffy and they were all getting after heat.
Because I was in Edinburgh at the time.
Right.
So I lived in Edinburgh at the time. Right. And I was in a bit more of a suburb of Edinburgh, but when I went into the city centre of Edinburgh for the first time, it was like a ghost town. Nobody, no cars, nothing. Really weird.
Nothing at all.
But it shows you how little people actually live in the city centres.
Yeah, I mean, you never seen anybody, you know, and that got really depressing. So I kept, I'm staying in the house. But anyway, me and Margaret decided we were going to go and collect pants, right? Folk take out donate us pants for the homeless. And we done that all day, and it was a beautiful, beautiful day. And we went in the drink, and it happened also to be the first night that my local drinking establishment, gay establishment, was open till 3 in the morning, or might have been 2 in the morning, I think. The restrictions had changed. And
because you could be in a pub until 10 o'clock, but not after 10 o'clock for a while, because the COVID came out after 10.
The COVID came out after 10 o'clock, so it did. But no, see, it did make sense, because as soon as they changed the restriction, because we've been in and out in pubs till 10 o'clock, as soon as they changed the restriction to that bit later, that's when all your guard were done, because you were too drunk, and we're all drunk arseholes, right?
I mean, it did make sense in reality. I know it might not have made sense at the time to sober people, but like your experience shows in this.
So you walk in, it's the first night, the gay bar's been open till 2 in the morning, in like 2 years or a year and a half, and you try and socially distance 50 homosexuals of those team. Like, hiya, hen, how's it going? Right. So there was about 7 days ended up with COVID. Right, I ended up with a heart attack, 3 cardiac arrests. Right, one guy ended up intubated, and another guy ended up with a tracheotomy.
Bloody hell.
And the weight dropped off that pitch. How I never got that. Right. But that's true. That was on the one night.
All in the one night. That's wild.
So we all get that. But take you to, that's what we found out in hindsight had happened. So 10 days I self-isolated, I had the COVID, and unfortunately my godmother, my auntie Sandra, had died. She'd lost her fight with cancer at that point, and it was going to be her funeral on what would have been my isolation day 9. It was going to be her funeral on isolation day 9, 10. Her daughter, who had been working in China, had a hell of a time getting back over for the funeral, and we kind of took this. But I'm not going to risk going to the funeral when I've just died. You know, so it was my Auntie Sandra's funeral on the Monday, and then on the Tuesday would be my first day. I was allowed to self-isolate. That's not even a word, isn't it?
Well, it's not definitely not a word. It's just whether or not it makes sense.
Come out of self-isolation. Yes. And I thought I'll take a wee mince up the salt market.
A wee mince waddle.
A wee mince waddle up the salt market. And I felt horrendous, you know, within a couple of steps. Just, you know, everything really, really tight. Oh, sorry, that's the thing. Everything really, really tight. I got a fright there. I was like, what's that?
Just a random growth on your chest in the last 30 minutes.
I've got one there. Anyway,
I don't want to know about you and your growths.
Anyway, so that was a proper, like, oh, I don't feel right at all. I'm really not feeling good. And like, you're just having you've been coughing all week because of the thing. Because of the. Because
that was one of the things, because I'd had it before you. And I said to you, you're a big boy like me. It's going to be, once you're done with it, it's going to go for your lungs, because I ended up in hospital.
That's right, aye.
And it went for my lungs after self-isolation. That was, it put me back on inhalers. I hadn't had an inhaler since I was like 12 or 13. Grew out of asthma, and now I'm on one. I've got 2 inhalers that I take all the time. And that was what I remember saying to you, just watch. Because if it's anything like me, it's going to go for your lungs.
And it's, well, not quite. I don't know if I quite got the chance.
Didn't get the chance.
So I get halfway up the street, and I'm going, it's just, you've done something, you know, you'll be fine. I sat myself down.
At a pub.
No, well, not yet. Sat myself down, still at the clock tower, middle of Glasgow, the Glasgow Cross. I just catch up, and of course, have a fag. Started smoking. That'll be fine. It was just you've been in the house for 10 days. You've not seen anybody. Got a wee mixed anxiety. It'll be all sorts of things. Carry on. But excusing everything, it'll be fine. It'll be okay. It'll be all right. And then I seen the wee pub across the road that I quite enjoy drinking in, the Crystal Bell. Oh, they've got me. I was going to say a beer garden. It's not a beer garden.
No, it's just some picnic benches on the street.
Flying out in the street. Do you know what I mean? To sit over there, have a pint. You'll be fine after a pint. Sat at a pint. I'm smoking a bagel. Right? No feeling any better, but it's all right. Another pint will sort you out. Another pint will sort you out. You'll be okay. You'll be out to next Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? We're having 2 monkeys. And smoking away, going for my 3rd pint, and I kind of walked to the bar like, this isn't feeling right at all. And I managed to kind of slowly plod my way back down, and I'm one up, and I get up the stairs and collapsed in my bed, had the laptop on, and it was Ruby Wax. I'll never forget. I put Ruby Wax's show on. She was doing like a retrospective of her old interviews, and I thought, I'll just kind of watch this. But I was kind of coming in and out of sleep, partly because I couldn't sleep because of the pain.
Yeah.
And the pain, I can only describe it, was like having, if you've got 2 ends of a Hoover nozzle, do you know, and it was pulling you in. It was really sucking you right in, so there was almost like meeting in the middle. I really couldn't get a breath, and I was kind of coming in and out of sleep and getting woken up by Ruby Wax. So Ruby Wax kind of saved my life. You know that noise that she makes when she laughs? Thank you, Ruby. I've always loved you. I've always been a fan anyway. But
I've always loved Ruby as well.
It's just funny. It's just funny.
Aye.
Like, and I mean, I know it sounds daft, but we were kind of laughing at a woman that was clearly mad. It's just she writes about herself. And I kind of now relate to that as well, kind of going, right, that's why I liked her, because she was, her brain worked like that. So I realised her show finished, and like that, my breath should have come back, but now I should be all right, I should be fine. And then I was getting a pain kind of in my left arm, which isn't always, I've got pains there anyway. I'll explain that's for dirty times.
Aye, that's for an after 10 p.m. podcast.
That's an after 10 p.m. podcast. But I did have problem.
Shoulder issues.
I've had shoulder issues. Also, here's another thing I get treated for during COVID as well. Right. I had a bursitis, right? The right sore elbow and a swollen elbow. And I went to the GP and it's sort of swollen, it's sort of red. So that's a bursitis. And I mean, look at somebody that's kind of, like, people will get them on their knees or their elbows, right? If they're, right? If you've been on your knees or your elbows a lot, I've been keeping all the COVID restriction rules, right? I've not been on my knees well. I mean, like plumbers and like air conditioning and engineers and things.
So you've just been lying down in bed too long?
He went, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't think I've been doing anything like that. And I came home, get back into my bed, put a laptop on, and I went, I gave myself a bursitis because I was lying.
You were lying on your elbow?
Gave myself Netflix elbow. But that is a 2020 is that a Netflix elbow?
And is that the thing that they hit with a book, or because you get those growths on your hand or whatever that they hit with a book?
Well, I've never seen that. No, well, it just burst. It just burst. It's like a wee sack that fills with fluid, and then it just burst. But it never went anywhere. Anyway. You like
God, that's
anyway.
Made me heave.
Sorry. Just a wee sack of fluid. But the moisture stays outside. The moisture stayed outside.
Right.
Between the bone and the... losing listeners rapidly. I wasn't really sure what was going on. Wasn't sure what I was doing. I knew that after an hour I should have been breathing properly again. And this, as I say, this kind of strange suction between my back and my
people
chest.
Usually describe, it's the first time I've ever heard that described, because it's usually the belt around you.
Well, I don't know. That's the only way. It felt like a two-ended hoover thing that was sucking you right into the middle. That's the only way I could. A belt, maybe it was. I don't know, but that's what. That's no right.
Yeah.
And of course, you're straight on the Google because that's what we do.
Oh, trusting AI, were you?
No, I think you'll find I was trusting the NHS website. AI might have helped me find it.
AI probably wasn't really around back then, was it?
Back then? It was fucking 4 years ago. Back then. Some of these ye oldie times.
Well, I mean, it feels like it was fucking ages ago.
But it's
the way that things are going nowadays.
I know.
A year's a lifetime.
It is a lifetime.
Which is exhausting.
It's exhausting, I know. So, and then what I started to get, right, and this is the only way I can describe this.
Oh, this is
the ecky jaw. That's the ecstasy tablet jaw, where you're kind of...
You've been chewing your face off for so long.
Chewing your face off for so long, you actually get pain, sort of where your jaw and your teeth connects. And I hadn't had an ecstasy tablet, so...
Not then.
Not at that particular juncture. I'm like, there's something not right. Definitely something not right. And that's... But interestingly, apparently the clenched jaw thing, that painful jaw thing, is more common in women than it is in men.
But you've got a
womanly
female
tendencies.
disposition.
Female disposition. That's womanly tendencies. Well, that's it. So, but that doesn't. So everybody should just be aware of the icky jaw thing.
Aye,
right? Because just because it says it's mainly women doesn't mean men can't.
Aye,
get
it's maybe women that report it, but other men could get it as well.
Aye. So who knows?
Maybe they just think they've had an icky.
So it was at that point I decided to do what we all should do, and I phoned my mum.
Oh, aye. Did she not tell you to put like a wet wet towel on you?
Wet towel on. So I phoned
walk it off. Go and
just
walk it off.
I know your mother likes to. Just
break your foot in Turkey, and she tells you to walk it off.
Just walk it off.
I made that point because my dad was like, you had the chance to talk about that, and you never did. So there you go. I got it in.
Oh, that state of that foot was wild.
It was black. Just walk it off. It's only a sprain.
But not that I how best to put it. Not that I have like a kind of detailed pen picture of what your foot looks like, right?
In normal times.
In normal times, but you sent me the picture of your foot, and I genuinely, it was like Barney the fucking dinosaur.
It was black and purple,
but
from
also
the knee down.
But also, it was just all thick, and there was toes. It was just a stump and toes, and black. Like, what is that? Well, that's my foot.
I'm sure you thought it was like a cake or something.
I know. I was like, what is that? I thought it might be some kind of Turkish delicacy that you were getting at the all-inclusive. But you'd managed to do some mental.
Oh, I went skipping.
You went skipping, pished.
It's absolutely steaming. Absolutely pished. I'd went on a mission to find a homosexual in Turkey.
Right.
So I went to a karaoke bar.
Naturally.
Yeah, and they couldn't find one, so I skipped to the next one. Because I think the official mode of transport of homosexuals is skipping.
It's skipping.
Only that one night.
But I mean, and I've occasion to forget my height and my size as well.
Well, basically, the curbs in Turkey are like.
It's the curbs in Turkey's fault now. It's not the fact you've completely abandoned the notion that you're 6'4".
But the curb is double the height of the UK curbs. So I'd just misjudged it by like a centimetre.
Of course.
Smack bang on the floor. And I don't really remember much of what follows, but I do know that 2 burly Turkish women picked me up and put me in a taxi. And then I got back to the hotel and I fell into a tree. And then I woke up the next day and went to get out of bed as if nothing happened and fell to the floor because of the pain.
Wait, because you had...
Well, I'd broken the cuboid bone in my foot.
Oh, well, that's... Now, if you don't know the cuboid bone, we might actually have to do a diagram for this, but it's literally a square bone. But where is it?
It's like in the middle of the foot. So like...
Aye, so there's this...
So like that is like the most basic of... But it's a cube. It's one of the biggest bones in your foot.
And it's just
a solid bone. And I'd broken it. Because not one of the thin metatarsals or a toe, the cuboid bone.
Cuboid bone. Yeah.
And I remember coming back. I waited until I got back from Turkey to go to the hospital. And I only went to the hospital at the time because the plane had caused it to swell even more. And it was like someone was stabbing my foot. So I went to minor injuries. I went to minor injuries at the Victoria.
When did you get back?
When I got back, the morning after I got back. And I walked up and it was still like COVID-y times. So they were triaging you at the door. You weren't allowed in. And I showed them my foot and they were like, right, morning. Anyway.
Nancy, you're made of stern stuff, Nancy. And
they didn't know how the fuck they'd let me on the plane. And I was like, well, I walked.
I mean,
because I've been walking
but you must be full of booze as well.
I've been walking for 12 days because my mum said it was a sprain. And just been drinking all the way through it.
See, so our mothers, I don't know if you watched last week and they submitted the
same question.
Same question.
And it was their first ever podcast last week.
Their first ever listed podcast either. But my mother done these. I would have been to a school trip. We went to the transport museum, right? So your mother just dismissed your broken cuboid bone with your black leg as just a sprain.
It's just a sprain.
Just a sprain. Walk it off. Right. And I, on a school trip, we were at the Glasgow Transport Museum. This is when I was at the Kelvin Hall.
Aye.
And it was a morning trip. We were back into school in the afternoon. When we were coming down the stairs at the Transport Museum, and I go over on my leg, and that was really sore. Back in the coach, my mother was picking us up because we just lived around the corner from the school, get my lunch at home, and I'm sitting there all the way through lunch going, "Oh, mummy, my foot's off a sore. It's off a sore." She's like, "You're just a lazy sod. You've had a nice morning. You had a nice morning at the Transport Museum. You just carried me on to go back and do any work." And I'm like, "My foot off the sore." She's like, "You came back to that school."
And was anything happened?
So I was taken back to the school, and she watched me, and she like, yeah, keep limping. A performance.
Keep limping.
What a performance this is, right? So foot it is. It so happened my teacher came out and went, he did kind of go over on his foot. I did see that, like, and he was talking about it in the coach the way back. You maybe want to take him. Well, fine, I'll take him. If this foot's not broken, you'll be sorry, boy. So,
and was it broken?
And there was a hairline fracture.
I bet you felt right proud of yourself.
I was over the moon like, yeah. So that was me, sticky for weeks, whatever it was. But yes. So what is it, mother?
I mean, did your mum ever do that? So my mum, I remember one Christmas, was going outside to our shed, fell, broke her ankle, and tried to walk back in the house, and as if nothing had happened.
Well, Ethel's got a terrible tendency to fall. My mother's quite she's not.
She likes to fall.
She can fall.
Remember, she's listening.
I know she's listening. She'll tell me off. I was trying. She was getting attacked. We were going to an awards do, and occasion I was actually winning something.
Oh.
I'll not name the awards do.
No.
No.
I think I remember
and it was mother's house is like on a wee bit an incline sort of thing. She was getting a taxi there. She was coming to pick me up, but she managed to get her shoe caught on the disabled bit. You know, the wee step that comes out. The disabled step that comes out, and it caught her thing. So her shoe flew down the street. She tried to lean behind herself to pick the shoe up, then fell into the taxi, and then rolled back out.
Sorry, Ethel.
Rolled back out onto the street, and then was just the poor taxi driver was just looking at her, rolling about on the ground, and he's like, "Do you like your shoe, hen?" So, and yeah, so she's got a bit, but she done herself a mischief. She done, I think. Well, I mean, it wasn't broken.
I love when you can be smart about that. Anyway, we were talking about Ethel because you phoned Ethel.
Aye. So I phoned Ethel because I'm like, "Mum, I mean, I think I'm having a heart attack."
And did she say?
And in fairness to her, she's like that. Oh, right. And she gets straight in the car. She drove straight down.
Bless her.
And as I get into the car, she went, "Well, you don't look like somebody that's having a heart attack." And I went, I don't know
what is with our mothers.
But I also don't know, what does somebody that's having a heart attack look like? I mean, it's not necessarily always like a TV. You know, I just went, "Well, we'll take you up the road. We'll take you up to the Royal." And in fairness, because it was obviously COVID time, so you had your mask on and all the rest of it. But they seen me straight away, and then kind of stuck the thing, stuck the ECG and all that. Not so clever. Then they took me, I think they were trying to take blood, and they sort of took me around in this bit to take blood, and then I started to vomit. I filled it. And there was a really, what should I say again? This really handsome.
How did you get all the handsome ones?
There was this really, really gorgeous Southeast Asian doctor. It was really lovely. And he said, "Are you capable to walk?" And I'm like, "Uh-huh." Just follow me. And he walked me into the resus unit, and I'm like that. Surely you don't walk into the resus unit, and I'm like that. I'm like, am I the queen?
It was probably just because it was the quickest way to get you in there,
Yeah,
rather than waiting on a bed and someone to move it.
Can you walk? I'm like, I can walk. Walked into the resus unit.
You must be one of the only people to walk
themselves
into resus.
There's something else. Do you know what I mean? You're looking at folk running about you.
Aye.
And then they got me on the kind of bed thing. They obviously had a look at the x-rayed my chest or whatever the hell they done. And it was his face. Like, I remember his face, I'm going, for me going, "Are you quite cute?" Or, I'm quite cute. To turn around and going, "You look really fucking worried." Like his face was just like thunder, like we need to act like now. And he's like, "You've got a 90% blocked right main artery. We need to get you to Silver Jubilee."
Golden Jubilee.
Silver Jubilee. I've downgraded it. The Silver Jubilee. The Silver Jubilee. The Platy-Jubes. They get you the Goldie Jubes. I'm going to get you the Golden Jubilee immediately. And I'm like, "Why?" Like, "You just need to immediately. Like, just we need to fit stents in you." And I'm like, "All right."
What was going through your mind then, or do you even remember?
Because it was such a escalation. It went really, really quickly because you're kind of going, because in your head you're going,
I've just walked in here.
I've just walked in. I'm going to go into that. I've told them I've just had COVID. And they're going to turn around and go, "You've cracked a rib. You've pulled a muscle in your chest." Do you know what I mean? You're going to, you've overreacted, and then as much as you had that kind of heart attack thing in your head, you're going, "No, they're going to tell me something that's less serious."
Yeah.
No, it is. And then you start to see them attaching things and basically getting a team round about you, and you're going, "This is," you can. And I remember, "You're right in this." I remember just saying that to myself. "Well, you're right in the thick of your Agnew," do you know what I mean? And you kind of don't know what the deal is. Of course, nobody's going to tell you. You know something has to happen quickly, but you've also not got that thought that necessarily wasn't in my mind I was necessarily going to die.
No.
But it's, you realise you're in one fuck of a lot of trouble. No, it is. And I remember them kind of getting us up into the ambulance. Now I've come to know the paramedics. I don't particularly remember the conversation at first, but
at the time you're not going to have thought that you'd become friends with these people either.
But I remember being in the ambulance and saying, like, because they'd been sitting up and I was just like really, really tired, and all that, but I felt uncomfortable that you couldn't put this headrest down, just let me lie back. And as soon as the headrest went down, I mean, it was really quite. I mean, it was very relaxing. I mean, I don't know how much more relaxed you can get in dead.
I was going to say.
You know what I mean? But and
as soon as the headdress went down, your heart stopped, didn't it?
As far as I'm aware, I had. And there was something really. I mean, there was nothing scary. There was nothing after, but it felt like kind of a nice sort of black, soft sort of velvet kind of theatre curtain coming round.
It would only be a theatre curtain with you, wouldn't it?
I know. Well, I'm assuming that's why. I'm assuming that's the way your mind works. When you're at that kind of stage, it's whatever you kind of want that to be. I think. So I think that's nice kind of because I'm often playing theatres myself, you know what I mean? As opposed to shouting over 1,000 drunks and some shite old pub, but miners' welfare or something. But no, it felt like kind of theatre curtain just kind of going around being dead soft. And then what I remember is hearing breathe, 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 and me saying, I wouldn't breathe if you just take your hands off my nose. And I opened my eyes and I was just kind of, you know, the kind of plasterboard, you know, ceiling things.
Oh, the squares.
The squares, And I'm going,
oh yeah, because this they take you out the ambulance at this point.
Okay, and I went, oh, is that us at the Jubilee? And they kind of went, we never even get you out of the car park, pal. So they brought me back and that. And that's when I remember, and it was the female paramedic. I remember her sitting with me and talking and kind of yattering away. And I don't know how long that all took. And then I remember being back in we go back into the ambulance, and it was a male paramedic, whose words, having looked at my bits and pieces of my readings, and went, well, that was a beezer, big man. I'm going to have to keep my eye on you. So that was well, all right. You know, when you see something medical like that,
yeah,
saying that was a beezer, that was a big one, you know that, all right. And I went, what did you mean it was a beezer? He went, oh, you were away for a bit there. I don't know if you kind of fully comprehend that.
You'd literally...
You've been going, and I'm like that, I've just lost consciousness for a week. Do you know what I mean? Like, passed it or something. You do realise your fucking heart has actually stopped. So, and you kind of don't comprehend that too much. And then again, I then ask for them to put the headrest in, and I'm off again. I'm dead again. I only vaguely remember going the third time because I knew. I think I can't remember the details entirely because I think the second time we were still in the car park. But I think they took the decision just to get back and drive, move me. Or once they got me back, just to then move me. And then I know the third time that happened. I mean, the question is, what did they keep on putting the fucking headrest in for? No. Yeah, but I don't.
Could you want to lie down?
I know. I was like that typical gay. I didn't want it. It's just taken from above, right? So you can't see all the rolls in my neck. No. And I remember that, and I know we stopped. Like, I remember the conversation that we'd stopped somewhere in about 10 minutes for the Golden Jubilee at that point. And then they're still just talking to you because it turns out the male and the female paramedic were in there together. So the male brought me back the second time, but the female brought me back first and second.
First and third, sorry.
And it turns out they were a couple, which is really bizarre as well. And he actually wasn't technically supposed to be there. She had phoned because she was worried she would lose me. So that's really, and I don't know, I think I spent too much time joking about this. I never really think about it normally. So here's me filling up and greeting. Oh, she's like a menopausal woman. So that is pretty kind of strange and weird and spectacular, that bit. And then you get the doors open, the ambulance at the Golden Jubilee, and it's genuinely like a scene out of what you see in all the TV shows that you don't think it's really like that in real life, where they just rush you straight into an operating theatre, and there's a squad of folk round about you. And the first thing I hear is the surgeon, the surgeon goes, "My heavens, what size is he? No, I don't know whether he was expecting some kind of typical wee Glaswegian. Don't know if he'd been told I was 6'5" and at that point 24 stone, 25 stone, whatever it would have been. But no, it actually, because so I'm like, that's shooting about my weight in this situation. Anyway, and then I kind of figured out what was going on. They then realised what they'd been looking at on the screen
wasn't the same length.
Wasn't the same length as what was then presenting. So long story short, I ended up with a 5 centimetre stent in my right main artery.
And are they not usually a centimetre?
Well, no, the standard size of a stent, anyone that gets a stent is about 1.5 millimetres. So I needed 50 millimetres, and they're only manufactured up to 38 millimetres. So your man had to literally make a stent at the side of the bed whilst he was operating on me. And just folk running about going like that. So I cut and shut this stent because I had a 90% blocked right main artery. And because I had COVID, the COVID affects attacks the right hand side of the heart and inflames everything. So something that was already 90% blocked that then gets inflamed just stops working. And you know, it was an insistent and stopped working.
And is it not right that your right side of the heart's on the left side, or what's the deal with that?
That's the only thing I've got on the right hand side of my heart is that main artery. The other thing, the right hand. So we found this out later. Because I ended up getting kept in longer. So we went for the MRI to look at the heart because they looked at that. We can't find where the supply is. They couldn't figure out where I was getting blood from. So it turns out. So if you imagine your heart and you've got the roots in, so all the roots that were supposed to be in at the top right hand corner here. Are they there? They're over here. So I've got the top right-hand corner and the top left and the bottom left all running down the one side, and I've just got the right main artery going in there. And he reckons it's possible because of my position. When I was in the womb as a child, assuming that I was as big as a baby, proportionately as big as a... Never come out this size. Right?
Oh, bloody hell, no.
So they decided that, and one of the consultants said that. I went, so what's all that about? I went, well, as in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. So my heart decided
to push
we'll just grow them that side. No. So the way the consultant described my heart, but if you kind of think of your kind of plug socket at Christmas with the Christmas tree, where everything's overloaded all down the one side. Well, that's kind of what your heart's, an impression of your heart. So that's that. So main thing, well, generally at this height and size anyway, you'll never get a heart transplant. You're unlikely to get somebody that's your height and build dead at the same time as you're needing it. But I'll definitely never.
There's too much.
No, unless somebody with an AI computer can 3D print me a custom-made heart.
Well, you never know these days.
You never know these days.
My friend from Berlin, Philippe, has a pig's valve now. So maybe you could end up with a pig's heart.
Well, we do, but I think
it's all over the place.
It's because I'm literally. I mean,
you're not even left-handed, are you?
I'm used to it. But I've got arms slightly ambidextrous. I eat with my cutlery around the wrong way. But I write with my right hand.
Are you fork in left hand?
I would have the fork there.
Oh, that's weird.
Cut with that.
Oh no, I can't do that.
So
fork in right hand.
No, but I would eat always. I mean, I can eat both ways. But if cutlery's set out the right way,
you swap it.
I want to swap it. I know. So I don't know.
Although fork is set out on the left because fork has the R in it, but that means it goes on the left hand side. That's what I always worked out. And the knife is on there, but I swapped them.
I don't know. I can't even remember now. But
I'm sure I swapped them.
I generally,
I eat with chopsticks mostly now.
well, that's because you're pawns. Do you know what I mean? I'm lucky if I use cutlery. To be fair, these days, I kind of love.
You don't need cutlery for a Greg's.
Well, exactly, that's it. I kind of love like some kind of savage in the house. Like if we can't be microwave, I know, can't be microwave and stuffed in a nose bag. Really no interested, to be honest. But that was the heart attack. That was the day of the heart attack. And do you know the mad thing is it was like you've got to be, if you're small mercies, you've got to be, thank Christ I never went to my auntie Sandra's funeral because I was due to be carrying the coffin, and I would have done that, and I'd have went down with a sack of totties, and my auntie Sandra was an actress, she'd been fucking raging, she'd been upstaged. Right. So we all kind of...
Small mercies.
I know, small mercies, we all kind of won out of that one.
And how long were you in hospital for that first time?
I was only in 5 days. So I went in on the Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And by the way, because I never slept until the Thursday night. I was quite literally buzzing. So the amount of obviously defibrillator shocks and whatnot. And the thing was, the mad thing is when they do the, so there's, I don't know if you can see actually.
No, I can see.
No, that's an ET stain. Actually, ET stain. What? You can, there it is.
Oh, there, I see that.
So they went away in there because it's amazing. Man, they go away in there with it was an angioplast, and it goes right up your arm, and it's no creepy, right?
No,
it is creepy.
Sounds creepy,
right? You can kind of sort of, but the cracking drugs, I know. Like I'm assuming I must have been on some kind of, was it morphine or something?
Morphine,
I was on morphine, was crying, it was there. And you kind of slightly sort of feel it going across. Yeah. And then, as I say, that tightness, like that hoovery feeling that was sucked in. And then they just inflate a balloon that opens up the stent, that opens up the artery. And it was like switching a light on. It was just, that's it, name of pain. That was it, done.
That's wild.
And it was just like, from that amount of pain, and that life-threatening, to something that just went, fruit, in seconds. It was
mad to think as well that like one artery can provide that much pain as well. Like,
it's just that your heart's struggling for something. And I suppose maybe that's it provides that much pain. Maybe that's
because it's a response. Yeah, it's the response.
I need you to respond to this. No, you can't ignore this. You need to do something about this.
But do you think that's learned, or do you think that's
nature,
the very first people in the world?
I was tons of folk just trying to we need to do something. Can you just thought that? Up to him. Well, but you know how you see the old death certificates? If you don't see old death certificates, most folk described as they died of stopping.
Stopping?
Stopping.
That's mental.
Stop.
Just stop.
Stopped.
That's how I hope to go for stopping.
What happened to Big Agnew? Stop. Boom. Which is just, it's a kind of right way of putting it. That's as close as like, if there's been no medical research or knowledge, you've got to write a death certificate. Well, what happened? Cardiac arrest.
It's stopping. It's stopping. Yeah.
That's just boom, down. You're out the game. Oh yeah.
Stopping.
So that I mean, it was just remarkable how quickly and how quickly. I mean, I could have been back out. Like if they hadn't stopped me and I'm like, I got up the road, like I'd have been back down to Crystal Bell. Do you know what I mean?
For a pint and a fag.
Pint and a fag, because this time
not that we condone
the pints and fags and all this. But I felt that good.
That's wild.
I felt that healthy and that good straight away.
It's I guess not funny, but it's interesting. You had clear symptoms and were able to, within that quick time, feel better. And I was in hospital for 10 days and didn't feel any different.
That's strange, isn't it? That's wild.
Because I didn't go in with any symptoms. I was filling in a sort of like questionnaire for my travel insurance today, and they were like, "Oh, when did your symptoms start?" And I was like, "They didn't."
Did they? I have not had any symptoms.
Because I never went into the hospital with symptoms. I mean, I suppose in hindsight, I then
Yeah,
similar
there
to
are,
you,
yeah, there are
then
symptoms.
could have went, "Oh, there was some symptoms." But really, that was a hindsight thing. So I did go in and edit it, and it didn't charge me any extra money. I was glad.
Oh, that's not bad. That's all right.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know the first quote for travel insurance I got when I was in hospital was $2,500?
Oh.
I got it for 110 today.
So,
Pays to shop around.
in fairness, if you're expected to travel the next day after being in hospital, but I've realised everyone's stabilised, and that's all right.
$2,500.
$2,500, that's wild. I just realised I need to time my back on.
It's fine.
I will finish.
I think everyone enjoyed the first podcast being so girthy.
Girthy.
Yes.
Not a word to be using around me. But so that was the heart attack as it was, and then they tell you, you know what they tell you, and that was, you know, and then you kind of start to look into it, and then the odds of you coming back
after three,
and it's quite scarily high, and it's extraordinarily high, and then I realised through it all, my poor mother, I didn't know where she was. She had been in. She just watched her son walk in. Didn't know what was going on. And
walk out because, well, get rolled out.
Well, she seen me get
walk
rolled.
In,
eventually, somebody said,
had the foresight
has he got somebody?
Yeah.
Has he got an extra kin in there?
She wasn't technically meant to be there because of the COVID times as well. She was technically asked to leave, and she just sat down with her moving.
And bless her heart, because if she hadn't come away down in the car as quickly as she did, you know, I wouldn't be here. And then when she was asked, apparently, at one point, she says, when they were wheeling me out, I think this must have been the second time, so I don't think she knew about me getting moved the first time. And if you've got anything to say to him, can I say it now? And
she didn't have anything
to say.
Which is surprising for Ethel, actually.
I know, she went, well. Which, do you know what? And fair enough, it's not the kind of thing you carry about in your handbag.
I suppose.
A nice big, you know, long, you know, kind of speech. You know, we're only going to the BAFTAs. Do you know what I mean? So, and then she told me, she went to the bit I get really worried about. She went, so they're putting you into the thing. She went, and I seen the two police officers blessing themselves. They're like, no, mother, you are hallucinating. There's no way there was two Catholic policemen on duty in Glasgow together, blessing themselves. But she claims that was true. There was two Catholic policemen in the same way as I was going in. Because my feet were apparently, I don't remember this at all. My feet were apparently like black and blue. So,
maybe you broke your cuboid.
I maybe broke my cuboid. I was just forced to walk up the road. No, it was. But so that was
the story of your hospital visit.
That was a hospital visit. There's more, but we'll do that another time.
There's hundreds more.
Hundreds more. But we'll because
we'd like you to keep listening every week, so we can't just stay on one.
Excuse me. Plus, apologies if it's been quite low energy, but I've full of cold. That's nothing heart related either. Do you know what I mean?
I hope not.
It's just full of cold. Oh, aye. And I've got to let's address this before we go any further. Any arseholes that are listening, right? And I will refer to them as arseholes. Because it was during COVID time, and people were wondering, that'll be the jag, right? That'll be the jag. It'll be the jag. It wasn't a jag, right? It wasn't a jag. I had received my first COVID injection 6 months, right? 6 months prior. I've since had COVID twice, and on each occasion I have managed to get it the week after the injection has expired. So the COVID injection has done me good, as in protect me from it. So if I don't get it, that's when things start to inflate and inflame the heart. So, now, you might have listened to a YouTube video, and I'm over the moon for you, but I'm quite happy to take the word of the cardiologist and the heart surgeon that teaches the rest of the cardiologists and the heart surgeons from all over the world about what COVID does to the heart and the lungs. And you might think they've been radical, you might think they've been amazing by sticking 2 fingers up to the rest of the world, you know, and that should be anti-establishment. See, bollocks, like denying illnesses and ailments and diseases and things and germs like that, you just play into the hands of governments that can then just go, oh, let's not fucking bother, let's not take it seriously. And people end up ill or dying because clowns like you spread this information. Anyway, so don't come anywhere near me. You know, oh, it was a heart attack. Was it with COVID or from COVID? Like you're so bothered with my size 12s or from my size 12s. Don't come near me with your shite.
Well, on that note,
on that happy note,
if you've got any weird or wonderful heart stories, you can email us at mattersoftheheartpod@gmail.com. We'll put this information down in the bottom of the description. You can get in touch with us on our TikTok channel, our Instagram, on our Facebook pages. Drop us a message, however you would like to communicate. And we will endeavour to respond. We can respond to the numbers as they are at the moment.
Yeah,
but we're hoping that.
I know I should here, and that's what I'm never. Big thank you to the NHS, the A&E team at the Royal.
Oh, they're great.
Scottish Ambulance Service, my 2 paramedic pals as they are now. We'll explain that story later on as well. And the surgeons up at the
Platy Jubilee.
The Platy Jubilee, the Silver, the Gold Jubilee.
Where did you get the Silver Jubilee?
Don't know why I've the mid for Silver Jubilee. Silver Jubilee. Golden Jubilee, which is a hospital, looks like a big quench cup. I remember I used to call them Jubilee cups. No,
that's another generational thing.
Another generational
We're going to have a lot of generational things.
I don't know.
That was what my dad was like. My dad was like,
I don't know. I mean, it was a bit. Remember, you used to get the ice cups. Jubilee.
Oh, is that what they are? I know that. I do know.
A quenchy cup.
A quenchy cup. That's it.
A quenchy cup.
You said a quenchy cup.
Aye, but they were also known. But ice, they were known as a Jubilee.
Aye, I liked them. That was proper council design.
Aye, that's sort of
like, I'll just stick a juice cup in the freezer. We'll call that your dessert.
I know.
Buy them for 8 pence in the cash and carry.
I was going to say 5, but
well, maybe generational. Join us again next week, where we'll have many more heart stories, side quests, and
any old pish.
Any old pish
comes out of my mind, but aye, as long as you're enjoying it.
Aye, enjoy it. Share it with all your pals, and do try and rate it wherever you get your podcasts. Try and find out where to rate it yourself, because I've navigated too many people in the last week to the ratings on Spotify.
Was that? I don't know how to do it.
I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere. I think you click on the podcast and then click on about, and then you'll see we're currently.
It's so difficult.
We've got 5 stars.
Oh, we got 5 stars.
Aye. And quite a few reviews as well. On the Spotify. So people are finding how to review it, which is good.
That's good. And I promise I'll have a haircut and a beard shave for next week.
Oh, will you?
And I'll have my glasses back off.
Oh, you're
just because I'm no wheel.
Oh, there's no wheel. And this is I can't believe this is an even bumper episode than last week.
That's because we jattered an awful lot at the start.
Aye, but we need to keep people up to date on what we're doing every week.
I know.
This
week I should be doing nothing.
It's a relatable podcast about how busy we are as people. Oh, fucking hell. Right.
Let's want to draw my last.
On that note, cheerio, bye.
Bye.